Hi, and welcome to the Weekend Warriors Workshop. I'm Chris, and I'm your adventure guide in a series of videos that are going to cover all kinds of weekender topics from woodworking to bicycle maintenance. Now, being a weekend warrior just means that we're not tradesmen, we're not professional craftsmen. During the week, we do other things like sit in front of a computer. But on weekends, we strap on our tool belts and we get into our garages, under our patios, in our carports, and we fight the good fight. Simple as that. Now, in this first couple episodes, I'm going to cover that first workshop. You know, you don't have a lot of space, you don't have a lot of money, you really want to be a woodworker, but you don't think you can. I know at least I didn't. I was a young sergeant in the Air Force in Denver, Colorado, and we didn't have a we didn't have a garage, we didn't have a carport. We had a large storage closet, and we had a back porch. And that was it. I thought I was out of luck. My next door neighbor, a good old boy named Tommy Carter from down south, showed me that with a couple of power tools and some hand tools, a couple of clamps and measuring devices, you can build a real effective workshop. And so today I'm going to show you the Tommy Carter inspired workshop, my first workshop. So stay tuned. I'm going to reconfigure the garage and get everything together. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. Here's my workshop. Many of these tools were in my first workshop, starting with my toolbox. This was my first toolbox, and it is loaded with your standard household tools. A couple of hammers, a couple pair of pliers, screwdrivers of different types, a crescent wrench, a stapler, a socket set. You need them around the house, you need them out in the car. Good chance you're going to need them in the wood shop. So, here we go. My power tools. I had a jigsaw left over from my skateboard days, and this was, Tommy said I needed one, so I had this one. Circular saw. It does the heavy cutting for you, and it becomes the motor for your table saw, which is right here. We'll discuss it in a few minutes. Corded drill. Of course you needed a drill. This just happens to be the drill that I had back in 1981. Hand tools. You got to have a miter saw and a miter box. If you're married, eventually you're going to be required to decorate, which includes trim moldings and baseboards. This will cut your 45s, your straight across cuts, your 45 phase cuts. You got to have a miter saw and a miter box. For measuring tools, I had a combination square, a carpenter square. This is the carpenter square. For some reason, my dad painted it brown before he gave it to me. I don't know, but it still works great as a circular saw guide for bigger material. My tape measure has always been standard on one side and metric on the other. Standard side is for my rough measurements, 3 inches, 3.5 inches. The metric side is for the more precise measurement. Instead of doing 32nds, 16ths, 64ths, 14 millimeters, it's 14 millimeters. There is no conversion. For clamping, 2 sets of pipe clamps. With the pipe clamp jaws, you can change them out from different lengths of pipes, giving you different lengths of clamps. So you don't have to go out and buy the same clamp over and over and over again in different sizes. Now I have a lot more of them, but this is a good start. 2 sets will get you going. And I had 2 C-clamps. I used the pipe clamps more than the C-clamps, but the C-clamps were always good to have. They worked. Now, of course, with the power tools, you never forget your hearing protection or your eye protection. Yeah, it looks goofy, but it's better than losing your eyes or having your hearing go bad on you. Now, those are the tools I started with in Denver. I've since added to this box because, well, it's 2010 and things have improved. One of the big improvements has been the cordless drill. Gets you away from the wall socket, Works as a screwdriver, power screwdriver. Gotta have one. The drill guide hooks up to your cordless or your corded drill. Gives you a little portable drill press, and if you can't drive a straight hole like I can't, this thing's a lifesaver. For clamping, the ratcheting bar clamp. This guy closes up with one hand. That speaks for itself. I've also added the rafter square. It's a great small pocket tool. Lets you measure 90-degree angles, lets you measure 45-degree angles. There's a built-in protractor on it. It also works as a saw guide for small stock. Couple of different levels: torpedo level, quick in your pocket, real coarse level work, and the longer laser level. Once again, got a spot across the room, you want to have something on the other side of the room at the same level, level it out, turn on your laser, mark your spot, you're good. And work as a saw guide and to draw those long square lines. Got a regular old T-square. It really comes in handy in the shop. So between these and the toolbox, we have the basic tools you need. Now you need a work surface. I like the Black & Decker Workmate. It's a sturdy surface, it's a sturdy machine, it gives you a wood vise that's nice and wide for holding wide stock, and it folds up into about 8 inches of height. Along with the Workmate, standard sawhorse. I've made this a little bit wider than the Workmate so I can get it right up against it if I need to, but keeps my long stock under control when I'm cutting it. And it also decreases the amount of storage room you need. Then there's the Hirsch saw table. Now they don't make this anymore. Everybody upgrades eventually. So this mounts your circular saw in it, becomes a table saw, great for doing precise cutting. You can also mount the jigsaw in it, becomes a scroll saw table. Can't do real fine scroll work, but you can do some. And best part, it folds up. And there you have it. If you put the box down on the floor, you got a total of 30 inches by 30 inches of storage space used up. All the tools that you need for an effective shop. And since they don't make this Hirsch saw table anymore, we're going to make one as our first project, which will be in the next series of videos. But until then, since I'm about out of YouTube time here, until I see you, keep up the good fight and have fun.